Hello students, how are you all? This is Anup sir, your English teacher from Devasha International Public School. Students, Bipin Chaudhury's Lapse of Memory is a very interesting story about a main character whose name is Bipin Chaudhury. Now, in this lesson, Bipin Chaudhury remembers each and everything about his life, but he does not remember about the trip to Ranchi. So, till now, we had covered three parts of this lesson in four different videos. Today, we will understand the fourth part of this lesson, which is the last part. So, students, let's begin with the lesson Bipin Chaudhury's Lapse of Memory, Part 4. Getting off the train at Ranchi next morning. He realized at once that he had never been there before. So, students, in the last video, we saw that Dr. Paresh Chandra had suggested Bipin Babu to visit Ranchi once again. This could help Bipin Babu to recall the memories of Ranchi as if he had visited Ranchi before, and when he visits Ranchi now, when he sees the different places which he visited earlier, he could connect with the memories of his past and understand that he had visited Ranchi in the year 1958. Bipin Babu, after talking to Dr. Paresh Chandra, feels bit better. So, what he does is he calls up at his office, gives instruction about his work, and then books a ticket for the first class seat to Ranchi for the same day evening. So, in the fourth part of this lesson, at the beginning, we see that next day morning Bipin Babu reaches Ranchi, and when he gets off the train at the platform, when he sees around, he realizes that he had never seen that railway station before, and he thinks that he had never visited Ranchi earlier in his past. He came out of the station, took a taxi, and drove around the town for a while. He realized that the streets, the buildings, the hotels, the bazaars, the Morabadi Hill, with none of these had he the slightest acquaintance, as Bipin Babu had come out of the railway station. He hired a taxi and asked the taxi driver to drive him around the whole city. And when Bipin Babu had a look at different buildings, hotels, the bazaars, the Morabadi Hill, he understood that he recognized none of these structures. Would a trip to the Choudhury Falls help? He didn't believe so, but at the same time, he didn't wish to leave with the feeling that he hadn't tried enough. So he arranged for a car and left for Choudhury in the afternoon. So, students, here we see that when Bipin Babu reaches Ranchi, he does not recognize the whole city. He does not recognize the railway station, the buildings around, the hotels, bazaars, and even the Morabadi Hill. So, a thought comes into his mind, that is, Parimal Ghosh was talking about Choudhury Falls again and again. So, Bipin Babu decides to go to Choudhury Falls. He thinks that it might help to recall about the trip to Ranchi in 1958. He does not want to leave Ranchi without trying hard to get the memory about the trip. So, he books a cab and goes to the Choudhury Falls in the afternoon. At 5 o'clock the same afternoon in Choudhury, two Gujarati gentlemen from a group of picnickers discovered Bipin Babu lying unconscious beside a boulder. When he came around, the first thing Bipin Babu said was, I am finished. There's no hope left. So, students, in this paragraph, we understand that Bipin Babu had reached Choudhury Fall, and when he looked around, he did not recognize any of that Choudhury Fall. Now, at 5 o'clock, there were two gentlemen from Gujarat for picnic. They spotted Bipin Babu lying unconscious on the ground. That means Bipin Babu had fainted on the ground when he did not recognize the Choudhury Fall. Those Gujarati people went to reach Bipin Babu, and when they reached near Bipin Babu, they heard Bipin Babu saying, I am finished, there's no hope left. So, this means that Bipin Babu did not recognize the Choudhury Fall, and now he feels that he has gone mad, and now there is no hope that he can recall the memory of the trip to Ranchi in the year 1958. Next morning, Bipin Babu was back in Calcutta. He realized that there was truly no hope for him. Soon he would lose everything: his will to work, his confidence, his ability, his balance of mind. Was he going to end up in the asylum at? Bipin Babu couldn't think anymore. Now, when Bipin Babu reaches the Choudhury Fall, he does not remember anything about that place. So, in the next morning, Bipin Babu reaches back Calcutta, and there he realizes that there is no hope for him. He thinks that he is really going mad. So soon he is going to lose each and everything that he has. That is, his will to work, his confidence, his abilities, and his balance of mind. So now he thinks that at last he is going to end up in a hospital where other people are going to take care of him. Now, Bipin Babu is not able to put any pressure on his brain. He is not able to think anything. Back home, he rang up Dr. Chandra and asked him to come over. Then, after a shower, he got into bed with an ice bag clamped on his head. Just then, the servant brought him a letter which someone had left in the letter box, a greenish envelope with his name in red ink on it. Now, students, when Bipin Babu was back home, he called up Dr. Chandra and requested him to come to Bipin Babu's house to check his condition. And after that, he went inside the bathroom for a shower. After the shower, he got into his bed with a ice bag clamped on his head so that he could feel a bit better. Just at that time, his servant came into his room with a letter in his hand. This letter was put into the letter box by someone. This letter was inside a greenish envelope, and on this envelope there was a name written in red ink, and this name was Bipin Babu's. Above the name, it said, urgent and confidential. In spite of his condition, Bipin Babu had a feeling that he ought to go through the letter. He tore open the envelope and took out the letter. This is what he read. Students, on this envelope, above Bipin Babu's name, it was marked urgent and confidential. This means that this letter should be opened and read as soon as it was received by the concerned person. In spite of his bad health, when Bipin Babu saw the mark of urgent and confidential, he tore open the letter and he started reading the letter. Now, students, let's see what was written in this letter. Dear Bipin, I had no idea that affluence would bring about the kind of change in you that it has done. Was it so difficult for you to help out an old friend down on his luck? I have no money, so my resources are limited. What I have is imagination, a part of which I used in retribution of your unfeeling behavior. Well, you will be all right again now. A novel I have written is being considered by a publisher. If he likes it enough, it will see me through the next few months. Your Chunilal. Now, here, student, in this letter, we get to know that this letter is written by Chunilal, one of Bipin Babu's old friend. Here, we understand that this was the whole trick played on Bipin Babu by Chunilal. Now, why does he play this trick on Bipin Babu? Here, at the beginning of this letter, Chunilal writes that he did not know that when Bipin Babu will get wealthy, he will forget his old friends and he will have a change in himself. What was this change? Chunilal is an old friend of Bipin Babu. He needed a help from Bipin Babu about his job, but Bipin Babu refused to help. So Chunilal played this trick so that it could teach a lesson to Bipin Babu. Chunilal says that he had less money, so his resources were less. This means that when a person has less money, he is not able to reach many things that he wants to. Chunilal himself tells in this letter that what is the best talent of Chunilal? It is his imagination. So he imagines a trick and plays it on Bipin Babu. What is that trick? It is about his memory. It is about the trip to Ranchi, which was not true. It was a fake trip created by Chunilal, which involved many other characters in this trick. In the second paragraph of this letter, Chunilal himself tells Bipin Babu that after knowing the truth, he will get well. So, Bipin Babu has nothing to worry about. And after that, Chunilal says that he has written a novel and which is being considered by a publisher. And if that publisher likes this novel, he would publish it. And Chunilal will have enough money for his few weeks to last easily. So, this letter by Chunilal gives the conclusion to this lesson that this whole trip to Ranchi in the year 1958 was a fake trip created by Chunilal to teach Bipin Babu a lesson. When Dr. Chandra came, Bipin Babu said, I am fine. It all came back as soon as I got off the train at Ranchi. A unique case, said Dr. Chandra. I shall certainly write about it in a medical journal. So, students, we know that earlier when Bipin Babu reached home, he had made a call to Dr. Chandra and he requested him to come home. Now, after Bipin Babu reads this letter, Dr. Chandra reaches Bipin Babu's house. When Bipin Babu sees Dr. Chandra. He says that he is fine. He got all the memory about the trip to Ranchi when he reached the railway station of Ranchi. Now he is feeling better. When Dr. Chandra hears that Bipin Babu is getting better, he says that this is surely a different kind of case and he would write about it in the medical journal. Now, why does Bipin Babu say this? He says this because he had never seen such a kind of case in which a patient remembers each and everything about his life but forgets about a particular incident, like Bipin Babu had forgotten about the Ranchi trip in the year 1958. So, this is the reason why Dr. Chandra says that he would write about Bipin Babu's case in a medical journal. The reason why I sent for you, said Bipin Babu, is that I have a pain in the hip from a fall I had in Ranchi. If you could prescribe a painkiller. So, students, in the last paragraph, Bipin Babu changes his reason of calling Dr. Paresh Chandra. Now, he says that the reason why he called up Paresh Chandra was he has a pain in his hip because he had a fall in the Choudhury Falls. So, he wants Dr. Paresh Chandra to write for some painkillers for his hip. So, students, at last, this is the end of this lesson where we get to know that we should always be helpful to others, or else someone like this lesson humorously play a trick on us. So, students, I will be sending you the notes with this video, which you will have to write down in your classwork. This is Anup sir saying thank you and goodbye.